Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmet Turgut. Welcome to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football and Turkish Super League podcast. We'll recap what happened in the week 3, also European competition matches for Turkish teams, and we'll recap it for you and preview the week 4 coming up. Well, in the headlines for this podcast, I will talk about the Fenerbahce capturing the first place from Eyüpspor in the week 3, and Galatasaray, Trabzonspor, and Başakşehir, because of the European competition matches, did not play in the week 3, and Besiktas had a bye. The most important thing probably we heard in the midweek, which was on Tuesday and Wednesday, Ferdi Kadıoğlu, Fenerbahçe and Turkish national team player Ferdi Kadıoğlu transferred to EPL team Brighton. Congratulations to Fenerbahçe and Brighton and Ferdi Kadıoğlu. Ferdi Kadıoğlu transferred to Brighton some kind of money around 35 million euro. Congratulations to both of the teams and Ferdi Kadıoğlu and his parents. This kid I've been following since 2016. I think he deserves what he gets. I think we're going to watch him. He's going to be a very good player. And we see that in the EPL, Brighton team has got a strong team this year. They are winning their matches. Again, congratulations to Ferdi. And Besiktas, as you know, I talked about this. They were hurting on defense, even though they have a very good players on top, but their defense, they don't look good. We saw that against Lugano in the first match. I will talk about their match coming up on Thursday, and I think that Felix Udokia will be a good addition. He's transferred on a loan deal from Augsburg, and he's a central back and very tall. Should be a good addition to Besiktas. Hopefully he'll play tomorrow to give some kind of power on defense for Besiktas. And, well, today, on Wednesday, Başakşehir advanced to Conference League after they beat St. Patrick's 2-0. But the biggest news, had to say this, very sad, awful. Galatasaray at home, they lost to Young Boys. Not only they lost Young Boys, they lost their goalkeeper in the European competition, Muslera. We're going to talk about that in very detail. I want to give my 2 cents on what happened in both matches in this Galatasaray Young Boys match. But I think Galatasaray, as you know, 2 years ago, Galatasaray was in chaos when Torrent was coaching. And Okan Buruk took this team, and in 2 years, they won 2 championships in Turkey, in Turkish Super League. But what we saw, if you remember my podcast, in the beginning of this season, I've been saying this in every podcast. Galatasaray is not the Galatasaray that we know. Especially, we saw that when you're playing in front of your own fans, 50,000 fans, and playing like this with no game plan in Istanbul, and also the first match, away match. I'm going to go to first match, what happened there, as I talked about it in my last podcast. Galatasaray could have lost that match in the first half 3 or 4-0. Somehow, they were lucky, and then Okan Buruk, another handicap is Okan Buruk was not on the sideline for both matches. He received red card against Sparta Prague last year in February. So that hurt the team big time too. He was in the stands. He was not on the bench. Okay, they should not lost that first match, but they did 3-2. Big advantage for young boys. This is the team is in last place in their league, and Galatasaray, the best team, the champions of Turkish Super League, couldn't beat them in 2 matches. Now, let's come to yesterday's match. Galatasaray could see that in the beginning of the match. The plan was not there. Just because Batshuayi scored 2 goals in an away match coming as a sub, I think it changed Okan Buruk's mind to play 2 strikers against young boys at home. What happened when you play 2 forwards, 2 strikers, and you have 2 midfielders are not connecting each other? I saw this. Icardi was coming to the touchline, do a throwing. He was coming to the defense, and a lot of times Icardi was not on top in the box. I can't not believe that Okan Buruk did not see this whole game. It was 0-0 until 88 minutes. And this team played better, much better in both matches. And 88 minutes, the sub guy came in and scored a goal on Muslera. Things turned really ugly from bad. Galatasaray was bad. Things got very ugly at the end, at the 88th minute, when Muslera received red card and Galatasaray was 10 men. They were man down. And you had at least 10 minutes extended time, injury time. And there were at least 13 minutes to play still in this match, even though young boys scored. That was no from the captain. I don't know what bugged Muslera, the goalkeeper we talked here a lot, one of the best goalkeepers in Turkish Super League. Why did he act like that? It's mind-boggling. It is very mind-boggling. But overall, he cost the team, yes. But I think up to that 88 minutes, I think this Okan Buruk had a lot of problems. This is going to be on Okan Buruk's watch. Galatasaray is in crisis on the pitch and off the pitch. You probably hear a lot of things about what's going on inside the officials. One of them resigned today. And there are a lot of things happening outside of the pitch. Inside the pitch, between the players, I think some of the Turkish players are not happy because some of the players that they were transferred this season to be in the Champions League, they thought they were going to be. They paid a lot of money to these players, and they're not good. They are not. I mean, this player, Elias Jallert and Sada, come on. When you have Zaha not even on the team, and he's still your player. And I have never seen Galatasaray play this slow the whole game, both of the matches. So it is really bad for Turkish football. I think it's a huge blow to Turkish football in general. In 3 years, second time that you will not see Turkish teams in the Champions League. Turkish football is not elite anymore. Believe me. Even though we talk about the Turkish Super League, Turkish football all the time, but I could guarantee you, Turkish football, Turkish Super League is not elite football anymore. These teams, the big clubs, are paying big bucks for these players to come to Turkey. Every year, it's the same story. No one makes the Champions League. This is the second time in 3 years we will not see Turkish team in the Champions League. After Fenerbahce bowing out early, the special one, Joseph Mourinho's team, now Galatasaray. But I think in the future, in a couple days, you might see Okan Buruk resign or he will be sacked. This was under his watch. When he was doing good, we talked about how good he was. But I think keeping the team handicapped, not having him on the sideline for both matches. All they needed to win 2 matches, even one. They had one playoff run. Then they were there. Champions League. They couldn't do that. Now, with these high price tag players, Galatasaray is stuck with them. And there are a lot of problems inside the team. Believe me. The Turkish players are not happy with these newcomers and the old players, the foreign players are getting big bucks, and Turkish players are not getting that much money. So sad. I thought Galatasaray was going to make it to a Champions League. They did not. This cost Turkish football huge, huge blow. And it doesn't matter if you're the champions of Turkish Super League. The matter is the biggest league in Europe is the Champions League. If you're not in there, what good is it to be a champion in Turkey? What good is it? You just lost close to 30 million euro. And you're stuck with all these high tag players. Same goes with Fenerbahce too. Fenerbahce have a very high price tag coach. They thought that they were going to make it to Champions League, even though they had they had to play a couple matches to get to Champions League. So, very disgusting, very bad week. Good thing, as I told you, Başakşehir, even though they're in Conference League, the team that does not have any fan base, and they're going to be representing Turkey in the Conference League. Another team that will be in the Conference League if they beat St. Gallen tomorrow on Thursday, it's Trabzonspor. Another team they're in only 1 point in the Turkish Super League. Abdullah Avcı is under the gun. Besiktas, the team that started the league very on a good foot. As I told you, they have a problem on defense. We saw that in the first match against Lugano. After going up 3-1, they let Lugano tie this match 3-3 in a away match. Now, tomorrow, in front of 45,000 people, Besiktas fans, Besiktas needs to win this match to represent Turkey, at least in Europa League, with 3 teams. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce already are in the Europa League after dropping off from the Champions League playoff matches. Besiktas needs to win tomorrow in front of 45,000 fans. I think they have a very good coach. They have very good players. I think Besiktas is the only team it did right things with the transfers. And they're only lacking a couple players on defense. Let's hope Besiktas and Trabzonspor wins tomorrow. Besiktas goes to Europa League competition, and then Trabzonspor goes to Conference League. Good luck to all the teams. Now, week four will start on Friday, and Fenerbahce, the first place team. There are two teams with 7 points. As you know, Sport won an away match, and they captured the first place on Friday, and Fenerbahce captured the first place from them after beating Rizespor 5-0. Another chaos there. There isn't a weekend that is not any chaos in Turkish Super League. Just because they scored 5 goals on Rizespor goalkeeper, even though he was bad, I agree. He was really bad goalkeeper. But I think all these fans from other teams, they're complaining that Fenerbahce, Rizespor goalkeeper just laid on for Fenerbahce and laid on and didn't do anything about those scores. I really don't agree with that concept. I agree with the concept that he's a bad keeper, but I think you cannot blame to just the goalkeeper with all those goals. We saw that. He must have at least a couple goals that was his big, huge mistake, but I think defense was bad. As I said, week 4 will start on Friday. Fenerbahce play against Alanya. On Saturday, Konyaspor will be at home against Kayserispor. Rizespor will be hosting Kasımpaşa. Göztepe will host Bodrumspor. And Adana Demirspor will host, well, the team that just boosted out from Champions League, Galatasaray. Adana Demirspor is only with 1 point. They came back to tied match this past weekend. So Adana Demirspor is hurting. And this match should be the match of the weekend, if you ask me. And Sunday, Başakşehir will be at home against Antalya. Eyüpspor will host Trabzonspor. Hatayspor